Incompetent ownership, they can't read the room, they make terrible decisions, they don't pivot. They make the most money yearly, but they're also the cheapest. They're not in it to win games, they're in it to run it as a business.
I think there is a little bit that we've gained by losing.
Things fall into place if we can get the first 2 or 3 games and come out of it 1-2, 2-1. I think the sky's the limit for this team.
I am most excited about having, so I think that side of the ball is going to really shine this year. I can't wait. I wasn't the biggest fan of Sam Darnold, even in college, I'll be honest with you, because he played at USC, and I don't know if USC quarterbacks have been that stellar in the last 20 years. Like, I'm trying to think of one that's like amazing.
The legend Matt Leinart?
Carson Palmer? Like, where are we going here, right? So, I don't know. I think he had a great resurgence last year, but they also played a completely different style of offense. They had the best receiver in the league, one of the best offensive lines. And my biggest concern, Henry, is he doesn't call protections up front. So Gino did that. So we could have 5 guys running in and out of the offensive line because Gino was calling protections. I don't think Darnold did that in Minnesota. So now we have to get a center who knows everything, or Darnold's going to have to learn that. So that kind of throws me off a little bit. But it's exciting because we got him for so cheap compared to Gino asking for that much money. I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
The Gino factor, though, it's not his fault because he has that like typecast of I was with the Jets, I was terrible, I was a first-round pick, I flamed out, I was the man in West Virginia, and then he dumped down. But his numbers are good. His interceptions, and again, he didn't have a lot of time in the pocket. Our O-line was just broken. Schneider just continues to wait till the last minute to pick up the leftovers, and sometimes it works, but not really. And so that makes it pretty difficult for any quarterback to actually have time.
Or he's converting tight ends to guards, or he's converting a center to left tackle, I'm like, none of these guys are actually playing their position that they're supposed to be.
He wants them interchangeable because they always get hurt, right? These guys are in the trenches, and so, again, I don't disagree with you at all about that, but, I think that's what's really kind of fun to see right now is, Sam Darnold, resurgent last year. He had T.J. Hawkinson, he had Jefferson, he had Addison, another USC guy. And then he had Aaron Jones that was just, doesn't matter, these 30. He's just hitting the wall and going through. So you love that part of it for them. And so obviously that helped having the supporting cast. But, if Walker can stay healthy, Charbonnet, that will buy him some time. Kubiak, our new offensive coordinator, they want to run.
Old school Terrell Davis, that's what we're going to get here, bro.
And the thing is, again, you lost Metcalf, you got a second-round pick for him. Again, hopefully we use that capital to get something good or trade for something or somebody to move up in the draft and pick an elite player.
By the way, that's a steal, bro. A second-round pick these days, I think we got a good deal out of that because we're also not paying $50 million a year to a wide receiver who might not be the most mature person on the field. So now I'm looking at the Steelers. I'm like, you got him and you got the other dude. Like, who's the grown up in the house right now? I think a second, and then getting Cooper Kupp, putting JSN as number 1. I still think we need a deep threat. I know that's supposed to be MVS, but how old is MVS? And we got like 9 draft picks. So I have a thing. If we don't pick 4 offensive linemen, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, I mean, we're still looking at the leftovers now of the O-line, and the reality is, Fries and a couple other guys, they got a lot of money, injury history, everything like that. So getting younger, I don't hate it, but obviously you need a proven commodity. The idea with Kubiak and McDonald, what they're trying to do is, again, that Denver-style offense. You run the ball, and then who was it back then? It was Rod Smith and McCaffrey. Right? And so what you're going to see now is you basically have 2 slots in JSN and Kupp.
Yeah.
So we're going to spread out the field. You got to respect the box still because Walker, when he's healthy, is dynamic.
Yep.
Charbonnet, he showed that what he can do when he got the full-time role, and that was nice to see. Again, MVS is an old guy, but he's the vertical guy.
Yeah.
So you're just going to throw the long bombs out there, and he's going to jump and get those. Obviously, you need to get another receiver with hands and size on the outside. It's tough. The draft capital is awesome. Trading DK, and he actually gets 30 million or 33, depending on
Oh, sorry, 150. Yeah.
150 over 5.
Yeah.
They'll probably end up trading Pickens or letting him go after next year because you really can't have two divas on a team.
No, and they're talking about maybe Aaron Rodgers there. I'm like, well, who is in charge here, man? Rodgers, Pickens, and Metcalf?
Yeah, the head case team, especially with Tomlin because he's just an old school, like in your face.
He's just going to be yelling at them, and they're going to be yelling
nonstop. Yeah.
I think there is a little bit that we've gained by losing Metcalf. I do think so because there have been some penalties and some, like, there's memes of like second quarter. Gino's getting sacked while DK's punching the cornerback. And it's like every game that was happening. Like, what are we doing? But I think the biggest signing this offseason was Ernest Jones. Because re-signing him. That defense completely changed. And if you're telling me we can have a top 10 defense, okay. We don't gotta Mahomes the ball every single game. And so I think, and with a weak NFC West this year, like who's really, the Niners are almost having as bad of a year as the U.S. economy right now. So I don't know what they're doing. Who else do we got? Cardinals, maybe. Let's see, because they're the only ones who didn't really.
They're the wild card.
Yeah,
they always are. Got Murray. That's
Rams. They drafted well. They've got good D, but I'm not scared of them like I was of the Niners the last couple of years.
Oh,
right?
they're a different beast.
Yeah.
But I mean, you had Kyron Williams over there, and then you have. Puka and Devontae Adams. They'll still be a good team, but what everyone's doing and like what the 49ers were, they're helping us right now is they just overspent and they kicked the can, and now they're like, we have to push a reset.
Yeah,
they just
reset.
They just traded Jordan Mason for a 6th-round pick, and that guy crushed it when McCaffrey was out.
Yeah,
And so again, they're just trying to cut corners. They let go of a quarter of their team so far, and so it'll be an interesting dynamic. I think McDonald, he's a Ravens guy, built on defense.
Yeah.
You think about us in our heyday, our Super Bowl
defense,
champion, it's defense. And so it sounds like, on the defense side of the ball, same thing, the trenches.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Lawrence getting in there. You got Jones.
Forgot about
Leonard
that.
Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, you got some big dudes in here.
Yeah.
And again, Lawrence has to stay healthy, but he's an all-pro. You've got Leonard Williams. He's an all-pro.
Yeah.
Ernest Jones.
What do you think we need on defense? You think we'll address anything on defense in the draft?
I don't know. I mean, it's never a bad thing to get more outside guys.
Like another corner?
Right? I mean, we're pretty set. Woolen's pretty good, and we got the guys out there, Witherspoon. But again, people get hurt, and so I think it's more. I think everyone agrees, if you're a local person, that the O-line needs the biggest help, and we need another weapon at wide receiver. And again, it's a weak quarterback class, and not that you're going to trade up for Cam or Sanders, but you need to go in and probably get a project, a 3rd or 4th round. It's a Dart from Ole Miss who's getting a lot of talk on the radio.
Who's going to be the first-round pick?
First-round pick in this year's draft is going to be Wazoo alum, now Miami Hurricanes quarterback Cam Ward.
I don't know the name, but I think they're going to go tight end.
Penn State guy.
Yeah.
He might not drop to 18 though.
Without draft capital and what tight ends are doing nowadays, would you?
Absolutely not. You don't move up unless it was Bowers, right? You don't do that. You could find.
Okay, tight end's gone. They're not going to take the second tight end because he's not that highly rated.
So you got to go wide receiver. Again, it's wide receiver O-line. Unless there's some like a gimme where somehow someone falls that should have been like a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
And that guy from Penn State that was a nobody up until last year, and then this year he crushed it.
Abdul Carter?
Yeah, but he has an injury. So he was supposed to be, he's the best position player outside of, quarterback that has everyone always reaches for. They're saying he'd go number 1 overall, but if his injury is something big, you could see him tumble.
He's getting like Micah Parsons comparisons.
And so stuff like that. But it's hard. I think you have to go O-line or you go wide receiver just because those are the biggest areas of need, and you got to get someone that gives you impact right off the bat.
But our team, we'll take a tight end because he can help block. I think we'll be 10-7, and I think we'll actually win the NFC West at 10-7 because I think it's going to be a down year for the NFC West. We're hoping the Cardinals are amazing and that all of the changes in LA, whatever. I think we're going to win, but I don't think we're going to win more than 11 games because there's going to be some transition periods with a new quarterback, new receiver, a new scheme. But I think our defense will allow us to be in the game. And so I think 10 wins and the playoffs this year.
If things fall into place, just like Akash said, if we can get the first 2 or 3 games and come out of it 1-2, 2-1, I think the sky's the limit for this team. I actually believe in Sam Darnold. Again, he went through kind of the hell and back scenario of he was highly drafted, went to the Jets. No one does well with the Jets. You could obviously see that. Zach Wilson flamed out. Geno flamed out.
Aaron Rodgers flamed
out. And so it's that dynamic where I think Sam Darnold, if we can get him a line, if we can get him a tight end, another wide receiver, obviously the O-line, these are a lot of asks, but we do have nine picks, like you mentioned. And so I think it's a scenario where if we can get past those first few games and not lose them all, we've got a chance, because once they click, they'll click.
Yeah.
Right? JSN and Sam Darnold already talking about, off-season, catching the ball, let's meet up, let's do this stuff. Get Cup in there.
And luckily, I think the offense has to catch up to the defense.
So the record will be?
If we get 11 wins, I'd be stoked. And I think that, again, will take you to the playoffs. Again, you got to see what the rest of the league's doing. There's so much, change right now.
What are you most excited about the Seahawks season this year?
I am most excited about having Mike McDonald running our defense for the second year in a row. I think we saw leaps and bounds of improvement at the end, and I think that's going to carry over this year, and I can't wait, because that's what we hired him. He's a defensive guru, and so I think that side of the ball is going to really shine this year, and I can't wait.
I'll go the exact opposite. You got new weapons, new toys to play with, and I think with Sam Darnold, if he can keep the momentum of last year, if we can give him protection, it will be really interesting to see how he plays up to our scheme. New, Kubiak, his dad, the Shanahan tree, all that stuff. He's going to have the mindset, the people above him, to actually set the table. And so if those pieces are there, Jason, Cup, a tight end, I've got the running backs. If they're healthy, our offense could be really strong too. Defense is going to win the championship, but our offense could be above average. So it'll be fun to see that, because I think with Geno last year, we always just thought he's going to throw it away. And again, maybe his fault, maybe not his fault, O-line pressure, whatever. But I feel like Sam Darnold's going to have a little bit more latitude to make changes and not be so errant with his throws and just throwing Hail Marys and hoping DK or someone catches it. So I'm excited to see the offense.
What are you excited about the Mariners this year?
It's really hard to be excited about the Mariners when the Mariners are the Jets of the Major League Baseball. Incompetent ownership. They can't read the room. They make terrible decisions. They don't pivot. They make the most money yearly, but they're also the cheapest. And they're not in it to win games. They're in it to run it as a business. So we're the Jets.
They take my breath away, but in the wrong way. Diehard Mariners fan my whole life. Everyone's seen the videos. I talk about it. If you see on my social media, I love the Mariners. That was the one sporting event my family went to while we were growing up. But the inactivity is irresponsible. The best 5 pitchers, and now Kirby's going to be on the IL for a minute, but we have the best pitching staff. We have pieces. The best hitting catcher in baseball. You got Julio. You've got these guys that should be good, and I follow the minors too. We have 7 of the top 100 prospects in baseball. But not spending money to shore up the holes it's insane. Again, Seltzer and Martinez, they're going to help because these guys are veterans. And Edgar's a Hall of Famer. We saw what Edgar did for that last quarter of the season last year. But to not spend the money on just at least one power bat. He could flame out, but to show your fans that you care, if you watch the Mariners, what they're doing with marketing, because I am on their list.
Oh, it's frustrating.
They are sending you so many things about bobbleheads and T-shirts and giveaways because they are running like a business, not a baseball team that wants to win a championship. And so it's very frustrating because we're so close. Again, if Julio comes back and plays, if Garver actually hits, half of what he did in Texas, if our players, if Crawford could come back and actually hit for average, our team has the weapons, and I will be against the grain and say it's not DePoto's fault.
No, it's not.
Upper management. DePoto is doing what he can. He's being a good soldier and saying the right things to the media, to the team, because he has to. He doesn't want to be middle. He doesn't want to miss the playoffs by a game again. But management is not giving him money to acquire the star players that we need. If you got me 1 star and 1 middle, average, above average baseball player, offensive side of it, game over. We have the staff for it. We have Munoz, we have Santos, we got Brash coming back. The pitching staff, both from starters to relievers, are fire. They're amazing. Like, I'm actually getting animated right now and annoyed that I'm talking about this because our staff and our relief pitchers are so good. They're so good. And you can't bank on just Julio, on Cal, just doing all the work. That's not fair. And then to bring young guys up, I'm all for it. I hope Cole Young, we keep him at second base. I think he's going to be a stud. We have so many great players, but instead of picking up, little guys for $1 million, $2 million, $3 million bucks, save that for one player. If you're only going to do one thing, give me one power bat. Bring up the young guys, sign the minimum salary relievers, whatever, to fill the 40-man roster, but give me something to get excited about, because I'm so excited about the pitchers. I'm so excited about the starting five. I'm so excited about what this team should be and could be, but the inactivity is just, it's unheard of. Not when we're this close.